Hey there guys, what's up? It's your buddy mikeyperion here, and I hope you have a great day because for today we are now at episode 7 of our Let's Play Minecraft 1.14.3 Hardcore series, and now we're here in the nether to gather some of these glowstones and some other stuff that we can actually gather along the way, like the quartz. Because for today's episode, we are going to make some progress in our base, and probably you might guys already have an idea if you have watched the last episode that we had here in this series. And currently, well, we're still working in the windows and the walls of our base, which has a very complex design, so that's why we are taking a little more time doing these sections of our build. So well, so far I guess the design is looking pretty awesome, but of course, well, for now we're just gonna repeat the design that we have came up with during the last episode in all of the other sides of our base. And probably, well, it's not much of a content if we're going to repeat the same thing that we have done during the last episode, right? Well, so for this episode, I believe it's also the time for me to do some channel updates because it's been quite a while and there are some possible changes in terms of, like, you know, the scheduling and stuff, and probably some other parts of my life that might affect the channel. So that's for you guys to watch out later. Well, this is not gonna be some sort of like an announcement, but it's more of like a channel update. So probably, well, I guess it's also gonna be some sort of like a talky episode. I mean, this episode, or just like a podcast. Well, from time to time we also need to share some stuff that, you know, not only on what we do here in our Minecraft world, but also in some other aspect, especially if it is about our channel, of course. Well, I guess that's gonna be the talk or the topic for later. But anyway, so well, going back to our build, probably we're already around 75% done with the structural parts of our base. But of course, hopefully by the end of this episode, it will gonna be 90% because we're planning just to finish the walls and the windows. But we still have some other parts that we have to consider, especially that we have to connect our main base to the mainland. Of course, we have to build some bridges, right, in order for us to make everything accessible in our base. So I guess that's pretty necessary. And also, of course, in terms of like gathering these materials, of course, we also need, actually, we only need the glowstones. The quartz is just nice to have since we're already here, right? Of course, afterwards, we are going back to our base and resume our building project. But anyway, so well, without further ado, let's get into our episode. And return to sender. Well, one of the achievements that I always achieve but never recorded in our series, because it's always something like it's always late whenever I press the record button. But anyway, so well, we're still gathering some more of this glowstone. Currently, we only got almost 3 stacks of it. Probably we still need to gather some more. I guess we need to achieve at least probably 6 stacks. I guess that will be enough. But anyway, so well, let's just continue gathering. And so far, we already have gathered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 7 stacks of these glowstones. I think this is gonna be enough for our build, especially that we're gonna use a lot of these later on. But anyway, so well, it's time to go back to our base on that direction, on this other side of this nether fortress. Basically, we didn't went too far, I think so, right? But anyway, so well, let's get back to our base and I'll be back. And well, we're back in our home, and of course we have gathered enough, I think, glowstones for this build, for this episode. And probably, of course, I'm not sure if we're gonna need more of those in the future, but probably, of course, like I said, we are also planning to raid an ocean monument and build a guardian farm for more lighting, you know, blocks like the sea lantern, which is what we commonly use, right? But anyway, so yeah, well, we have a bunch of these gunpowder. But anyway, so well, so now it's time to start our building session slash time-lapse chat. Of course, like I said, we are going to have some channel updates, but before that, of course, I wanted to show you guys what we are actually doing now. Basically, what we're planning is to replicate these walls, these windows and walls, this design in all of the sides of our base, or this trading hall, or this structure. I'm not totally sure what is this, right? But anyway, so at least it looks pretty impressive build, right? I mean, I'm totally happy that we are actually having this in our world. And well, to be honest, this is a no joke project. Well, this is one of the builds that I totally having difficulties of building. But anyway, so well, so far at least we're making progress, and now it's time to start our time-lapse chat and of course for our channel updates. But anyway, so well, let's do it. So for this episode, well, like I said, it's gonna be a talkie episode. So probably the time-lapse visual or the time-lapse that we are doing, well, you can actually watch it if you want to see the glimpse on how we are actually doing our build. And of course, well, it's not pretty necessary to be honest, because actually the main highlight for this episode is a channel update. Probably that's gonna also be the title of this episode for the episode 7. But anyway, so well, if you guys are also wanted to do something else, you can also switch to other screens, but of course don't leave this video. You can actually keep it in the background while listening to our podcast or some sort of like a podcast or his channel updates. But anyways, of course, feel free guys to check out some other pages, but not other videos. Of course, well, we still have a lot of talking to do, right? But anyway, so well, so several stuff that I want to talk about. Number one, of course, the channel schedule, and secondly, well, why aren't we still complying in our recent schedule? Well, to be honest, we actually did. I mean, we have complied for a couple of weeks, but now for the past week, well, we our schedule, our videos, well, we even published more videos during the past week, right? I guess so. I guess we have 4 videos, but we actually stopped doing live streams. So first thing, well, about the live stream, to be honest, well, I like doing some live streams. I mean, the on how I deliver live stream, especially that it's totally fun for me to get connected with you guys. But apparently my internet connection is not totally designed for live stream because, well, it cannot catch up on the latency or on the speed of streaming. So actually, it's the main reason why I stopped live streaming, because most of you guys are actually already disappointed on how the live streaming goes, right? But for me, it's at least I can already show to you guys what we're actually doing on the spot, on live, which is especially for hardcore series. Of course, I wanted to show you guys that I'm actually doing these things on live because, well, definitely on episodes, we can edit things, right? Of course, that's kind of reduce the, how do you call this, the integrity of the game. But of course, I promise you guys, I haven't done any cheating yet. We're still alive in the game. We haven't died. Even we have fought the Ender Dragons or some sort of like those stuff. And probably, of course, during the very first LPS, well, it's not a hardcore series, but we never died as well in the game. So we also have a 0 death record, and as well as for Taskcraft, well, the only series that we didn't have the 0 death record is in iCraft, right? Because in iCraft, we started during the snapshot. So, well, a lot of bugs or a lot of, you know, glitches that actually affected our survival aspect of our game. Especially that, of course, our very first episode that we have died 4 times because of the lighting glitch. And apparently, we're working on this, we're working on the double spawner, and well, the lighting glitch strikes in that location where most of the mobs are still spawning even though the place is well lit, right? So which is not totally expected. So that's why I just went straight to there and I just encountered those zombies without, you know, any defenses. So basically, so most of the reason why we have died in iCraft is because of a lot of glitches, especially sometimes it's also related to connection. One time we have died in the Guardian farm where I actually got disconnected inside the tank with full of Guardians. So totally I'm defenseless because, well, I just got disconnected to the game, and apparently the Guardians are still attacking us even though we're not in the game. So, well, that's also one of the reasons why we have died in the game. But anyway, so, well, second thing, of course, that's my take in terms of like the our hardcore series. So basically, for this hardcore series, as soon as possible, if I can upgrade or I can find a better internet connection, probably we're gonna resume doing some live stream for the hardcore series, because as much as possible I wanted to show you guys what we're doing here in the hardcore series are live, right? So basically that's the first thing. So about the live streaming, probably it will get back soon for as long as we have fair internet connection that we can actually do an actual live stream, not 30 minutes delayed, because most of you guys are already saying that well, your chat or your stream is like 50 minutes delayed, 30 minutes delayed even. So sometimes it does happen. I'm I'm not sure what's wrong with YouTube, or because well, I'm also doing some live stream in Twitch, which is actually I only got like 4 followers in Twitch though. But anyways, of course, I'm not actually focusing on Twitch because number one, we're not affiliated to that, and I have a very small audience on Twitch, so probably it's not gonna be an option for me to move to Twitch for the meantime. So, but anyway, so that's for the live stream. So, second thing is actually, well, in my personal life, in my professional life, in the real life, should I say, well, for the past couple of weeks, I've been busy because, well, I already have the decision to actually to go back to have a full-time job in the corporate world. So probably because it's already been a year now. It's more than a year now that I'm having a vacation from the corporate world. So now I am thinking that it's time for me to go back to work. And especially that, of course, it's kind of also risky if I'm going to prolong my vacation, because it's going to be hard for me to get back. Even to get back to the corporate world. Of course, I guess it's already time for me to, much busier stuff or some more formal stuff aside from making YouTube videos, right? But anyway, so well, I guess probably the effect of that is, of course, probably it will gonna affect our schedule, especially our schedule, because of course it will, working or having a full-time job will eat a lot of time. I have allotted for making videos, right, in YouTube. So probably of course the number of videos that I'm gonna publish will be less, and most probably that's most likely to happen. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do some more live stream. But probably, of course, the best bet is to do some live stream. But of course, like I said, our problem is with the internet connection. So, well, we still have to make a decision on how we are going to catch up in our YouTube channel, right? As much as possible, I also want to interact with you guys. As much as possible, I want to make more videos in order for me to to give you more content, and for some sort of like our in our game progress, especially the progresses in our builds, in our projects. As much as possible, I also want to accomplish them because this is what I promised you guys. Especially for iCraft, we have a huge project in iCraft, but for hardcore series, it's not actually time bounded. The hardcore series, we can do as much as we can for as long as we're alive, but if we died, of course, that's the end of it. But for iCraft, although the season will still take time to finish, or to switch, or to move on to another season, because probably it will gonna take more than a year even, or I'm not sure on how it will gonna work, or how long is the season 5 will gonna be for iCraft. But hopefully before we end the season, or before the season finale, we can already finish most of our projects, especially in the perion, the city of Perion, our main project for this season of iCraft. And we still have a lot, we still have a lot of builds that we have to do there. And currently, well, I'm still finishing the platform, and from the last episode, we already have started working on the capital, which is a totally awesome project, right? But of course, there's still a lot of things to come in iCraft. And on the side, we're actually also working on the Nether Hub. I'm also helping Luke, and of course, together with other iCrafters, we're actually building the ginormous Nether Hub that we are going to have for this season of iCraft. It is actually a lot of work. So from time to time, I'm also trying to help Luke, especially for resource gathering, and sometimes I also do some block placing. But most of the time, I think the best skills that I have is more of like a resource gathering, because number one, we have most of the tools, and as well as we already have placed our temporary netherwart farm, which we're gonna use for the ceiling of our Nether Hub, because we're gonna use red nether bricks, right? So basically, those are my contributions for the Nether Hub. And probably, of course, we still got tons and tons of projects, like of course, we still don't have any house or a base of operations in the town center. So probably I'm thinking that that's gonna be the next project after we have finished the capital, but I'm not sure yet, because I'm still trying to finish the platform. To be honest, I'm still not done with the platform. I'm actually struggling in terms of like the shape of the platform that we are actually building, because it's totally dynamic. The shape is pretty plain, but no, it's not actually base, it's actually complex. It's more of like, because there's a lot of curves, there's a lot of like shapes going on there. So basically, as much as possible, we're gonna try to make it symmetrical. I mean, making an organic build is easier, but if we're going to make something symmetrical, it's actually harder, because you have to consider, or you have to copy one side and flip it to another side, which is totally pain in the back, should I say. That's the reason. That's the main reason why I'm taking time to actually build our our project, or our platform. So I guess, well, about the scheduling for the meantime, is just gonna be a little bit disorganized. So probably we'll just gonna publish a video every time we can publish. So probably there will be some delays, but of course, probably in the future, I'm also gonna officially announce on what we are actually gonna do. So let me first try to estimate the things that's gonna happen all around me. So basically, well, I guess that's all of the things that I need to talk about with you guys in terms of like the channel updates. So, well, of course, stay tuned, guys, on what we are going to do. Probably a week or 2 or 3 weeks or a month. It depends on how the situation will come in our in our personal life. But anyway, so well, that's it for this live stream, and let's go back to our episode. Well, I have to say to you guys that this is totally a no-joke project to accomplish, man. Number one, it's totally massive. Well, it's not that evident when you look from afar, but when you come near to it, it's totally massive, right? But anyway, so well, especially that we have implemented a lot of complexity, or in terms of like the design or the patterns that we have put in this build. Well, it's a no joke, right? I mean, we have 8 of these gazebos, we have tons and tons of pillars, we have a lot of windows, massive windows, even ginormous windows, right? Which is, well, I know this is not yet finished. I mean, we still have to finish the bridges that will be connected to the mainland here, so at least it will be accessible, right? And of course, the facade, well, yeah, it's still a giant hole though. But of course, we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this on the next episode, and probably we'll be back on a normal episode and looking up close using our Optifine. Well, this looks pretty sexy, right? Well, I'm totally happy. I'm totally happy of what we have accomplished so far for this hardcore series, especially that we're building this this impressive building, this impressive base that we have here in a hardcore mode, right? I mean, for me, it's an accomplishment, and especially that, well, it's not easy to do. But anyway, so, well, I guess, well, we already have accomplished a lot for this episode, something. Not as much as a previous episode, right? But anyway, so, well, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment, please leave a like, and make sure to subscribe. This has been Mikey Perion, and I'll see you guys next time.